Chip Beverett is from Portage, Indiana. 2018 Camaro body, the most common body style you'll see in this category, a 521 cubic inch, alcohol burning on methanol, Hemi engine, single magneto, single spark plug per cylinder, screw style supercharger on all these cars. What should we be expecting for performance? In general terms, we should be expecting cars running in the mid 5-second range with speeds over 250 miles an hour. That gives you a brief roadmap. Performance-wise of an alcohol funny car. There are some subtleties to pay attention to with these cars. The first one being the method of transmitting the horsepower from the engine to the transmission. A lot of these cars now use a torque converter drive. Many of them, this is something that is a kind of a sea change in the class over the course of the last, let's call it 5 to 7, 5 to 8, 5 to 10 years. The cars with a clutch in them, you'll be able to tell because the driver will come up and you'll hear the driver kind of throw the revs up a little bit. You hear the driver whack the throttle a couple times before staging the car. The cars with a torque converter in it, you'll be able to tell them because the driver is going to stage the car, press a button called a two-step, the same type of device that is used on a bracket racing car, and then stand on the gas. And that two-step will hold the engine at a preset RPM, and when they release that button, the car will launch. Releasing the button is the same as throwing your foot off the clutch pedal. A torque converter car will not kind of wing the revs up before going into stage as a clutch car typically does. For Chip Beverett, driving the car owned by Rnd1, who's now stepping to the back of the car. It's a good race car. This car has won the Winter Nationals a couple seasons ago. Beverett, the Indiana racer. And Beverett really wound that thing up through second gear. A 5:59.5 at 261 miles an hour. A fine opening shot for alcohol funny car qualifying at Chip Beverett. Right down the center of the racetrack. And on a single run, it gives us a great opportunity to kind of listen in and understand what we're hearing. You heard Chip Beverett come off the starting line, and then you heard the engine kind of change pitch a couple of times, and that's because these cars use a multi-speed transmission. Typically a Lenco or a planetary-style transmission is what you're going to find in there. So unlike a nitro funny car that is a direct drive, high gear only car, these machines have to be shifted, and the driver is doing that shifting with a button on his steering wheel, while his wrists are usually over top of each other trying to wrestle the car down the racetrack. These cars take an immense amount of talent to be successful in driving, not just on the starting line, but to maintain control down the strip.